You didn't stumble here by accident. You were drawn here because something inside you already knows you're not like the rest. You feel it, don't you? That quiet fire in your chest. That sense that you were made for more, set apart for something bigger, something the world can't quite name. Let me tell you, you are not ordinary. You are not forgotten. You are not here just to survive. You are here to shift the atmosphere, to carry light where others see only darkness. This moment is yours. This message is yours. Heaven has been watching, waiting, preparing you for this very season. So shake off the doubt. Lift your head. Step into who you really are, chosen, called, unstoppable. What's about to happen isn't just happening around you, it's happening through you. Let's go. The ground hums with an unfamiliar rhythm as invisible forces rearrange what once seemed unshakable. Walls of pretense begin to fracture, revealing what has long been concealed beneath polished surfaces. In the seen world, structures built on illusion falter, and truths long suppressed burst forth, like lightning from still clouds. At the same time, beyond what eyes can grasp, a surge of brilliance weaves through unseen corridors, knitting fractured paths back into a higher harmony. Looking for purpose and peace? Hit subscribe and start the journey. What some will misread as turmoil is, in fact, an intricate recalibration, a quiet overturning of scripts long thought immutable. Those ignored find their name spoken. Those dismissed find their hands lifted. A grand exchange unfolds, where endings reveal themselves as beginnings, and forgotten seeds split open into unexpected bloom. This moment does not summon dread, but calls forth courage. It does not shrink hearts, but ignites them. A gentle insistence rises. This is a summons into placement, a drawing into alignment with what was always yours to carry. Through this shifting, veils thin, understanding sharpens, and dormant strength awakens. The world you return to will not resemble the one you leave behind. In stillness, perception deepens. In quiet, resolve strengthens. Yet before moving forward, pause here. Not as a ritual, not as a reaction, but as a declaration, ready to stand in what unfolds. To choose to remain here is to acknowledge what your own spirit already suspects, that what is approaching is for you, shaped for your journey. What speaks now is not mere coincidence, but a whisper meant specifically for your ears, a sign that silence and expectancy have not been in vain. And so comes an appointed interval of stillness, a sacred interruption where noise falls away and motion surrenders to meaning. For a few precious days, the ordinary rhythm ceases, and an unseen hand gathers the chosen into hidden shelter, not to imprison, but to prepare, not to diminish, but to distill. This is not born of human design, but of something higher, scripting unseen chapters. Step beyond the screen. Join and help light the way for others. You are drawn into this quiet not to escape the world, but to encounter a deeper layer of it. As a pearl lies unseen within the shell, as a spark waits beneath ashes, those who embrace the hush will find the air thick with revelation. What may seem to others like retreat is in truth a gathering of power, an infusion of clarity meant for the next ascent. Hidden here, destiny is carved anew. These days carry a quiet force, a hidden invitation to cross an unseen threshold. Time itself seems to have carved out these hours just for this encounter, veiling them from the ordinary rush. While many drift through oblivious, here lies a turning point disguised in simplicity. Looking back, this moment will glimmer as the spark that redefined everything. Transformation does not always roar like a storm. Sometimes it hums in silence, like ink sinking into paper. Sometimes it's the still air thick with meaning, imprinting a deep certainty into the soul. Over these hours, expect layers to peel away, invisible weights to lift, forgotten courage to surface, calm to pour into restless corners. Something profound is being crafted within, and nothing more is required than surrender. Like a dancer awaiting the cue before stepping into light, like a sculptor pausing before the final touch. This is sacred preparation. The quiet is not emptiness, but a field brimming with unseen motion. This unfolding has already begun. Even those who map skies and measure patterns sense it yet fail to capture its source, a design that outpaces their charts and symbols. The firmament quivers in ways that defy any familiar explanation. These currents confound the clever, and open the eyes of the attentive. What is happening surpasses any human framework. The energies rising now are neither casual nor predictable, shaped far beyond earthly grasp. Scholars and seekers may perceive the shift, yet its origin remains veiled, because what moves here cannot be named. And when the unseen advances, even the stars seem to stand still. This plan silences all forecasts. Here, existence itself becomes a message. Becoming aware of this mystery places one at its center, no longer chasing signs, but embodying one. The universe pivots as something immense resets, and without even knowing, every breath takes place in the heart of that vast recalibration. If your heart overflows with divine love, now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of a sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. This moment unfolds as both a dismantling and a creation, where layers of who you once were begin to dissolve and an unfamiliar self begins to emerge. What is happening here stretches beyond individual experience. It ripples outward, weaving through ancestors, kin, and even those who are yet to be born. The choices made during this stretch of time carve paths, not only for one soul, but for generations, becoming the fracture in the pattern. The spark that no one before dared to ignite carries a weight that is both daunting and magnificent. These choices shape history. Confusion may hover like a dense fog. A sense of losing footing is natural in such a profound reordering. The familiar must sometimes vanish to make room for something far more rare to take its place. Let the uncertainty breathe. Trust the unmaking. What feels like collapse is, in truth, meticulous reconstruction guided by something greater. The approaching celestial phenomenon months from now is not merely a spectacle above, but a reflection of the unseen work that begins here in silence. That later display only reveals what is quietly being stitched together now. In these days of stillness, the foundation is being poured. The quiet carries the weight of new stories being written, futures being drafted in shadows. Why does it matter? Because the very rhythm of your spirit is syncing with something vast and ancient. Sensations may rise without explanation, vivid emotions, sudden insight, strange and powerful dreams. None of these are accidental. They are signals that you're being equipped for what is next. The glow of what will unfold months from now is already alive within, waiting to surface. Stay here. Watch the inner stirring. There's no need to chase omens in the distance. What you seek is already unfolding where you stand. What seems quiet at first will later echo in ways you cannot yet imagine. During this time, a new trajectory is forming around you, pulling you into a deeper alignment. It is natural for feelings to surge and shift like unpredictable waves, at once soaring, then turning inward and heavy. This is no flaw or imbalance, but rather a cleansing of the hidden layers within. What no longer fits is being swept away. Even if it rises to the surface, one last time before leaving. Let it happen. Do not flee from what you feel. This is a delicate mending of what was broken inside. You are not unraveling. You are being pieced back together with greater care. Step beyond the screen. Join and help light the way for others. Energy will ebb and return in strange rhythms. At times you may feel spent, at others electrified and almost weightless. That is the signal that your being is finding its true note again. Give yourself permission to rest and replenish. Let your spirit drink deeply from silence, and let your body be soothed by what it needs most. You might notice unfamiliar sensations, warmth in the spine, subtle vibrations in your limbs, quiet sparks in the palms. These are not symptoms of fear or illness. They are your body's way of responding to a higher resonance, now moving through you. When what is eternal brushes against flesh, even cells awaken. Sounds may seem sharper. Light may feel brighter. Your heart may respond to small things with sudden intensity. These are signs that the inner barriers are softening, the heart becoming porous again. Tears may surprise you. Memories may swell unexpectedly. Allow it all to pass through. This is how the spirit loosens what it no longer needs. The current you feel is real, a charge flowing through you, quickening you, making even sleep restless as everything inside adjusts to the new rhythm. As this unfolds, your perception sharpens. A knowing you can't quite explain rises, instinct guiding you toward what is right and away from what no longer belongs. You may feel urged to step back from certain people or habits, drawn instead to quiet, reflection, and a sense of the sacred. This is not imagination, but an awakening of discernment. You are being tuned to navigate with spirit when reason cannot suffice. These days are your training ground, teaching you to listen beneath the noise and trust what speaks in whispers. Take note of your dreams and impressions. Each carries a fragment of the larger message. But hold this sensitivity gently. Let it root in steadiness, not anxiety. Keep your attention grounded in what strengthens you. Find solace in reflection, in writing, in whatever keeps you tethered to what is true. You are protected here. At the same time, distractions will press closer, masquerading as harmless comforts or familiar habits, trying to draw you away from this unfolding. You may feel tempted to fill the silence with noise, to return to conversations that drain you, to entertain doubts whispering that none of this matters. These are not random. They arrive because something powerful is being birthed and resistance rises to meet it. Do not give them room. Set boundaries around your space and attention. Step away from what stirs envy or chaos. Protect this ground as though it is precious, because it is that if your heart overflows with divine love, now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. This stretch of days is no ordinary pause. It is a battleground disguised as stillness, where unseen struggles play out beneath the surface. As new doors unlock above, opposing forces push harder to fasten the old ones shut. Thoughts may turn restless. Strange weight may press on your chest. Confusion may swirl unexpectedly. These are not figments of fear, but the pushback that always comes just before freedom. And yet, the outcome is already written. Victory surrounds you like unseen armor. The tools needed here are not of flesh and force, but of spirit and resolve. Every breath of gratitude becomes a blade. Every moment of quiet becomes a barrier. Every step of trust sends out a sound that rattles what resists you. Do not stray into conflicts that were never yours to take on. Simply root yourself and remember who carries you through. What feels like collapse is often the soil being broken for creation to rise. Before light was born, darkness had to break. Now light speaks again, this time through your chaos, proving that what was planted has strength enough to surface. This is not destruction but distinction. Here, you are drawn out from the ordinary, so you can inhabit what is rare. It is a purifying season, not because you are unworthy, but because your path demands clarity. You were not meant to dissolve into the crowd. You were shaped to stand singular in what you carry. That may leave you feeling alone, questioning why you're pulled from your familiar rhythms or circles. But all who carry something extraordinary are first pulled aside to prepare. Take these hours to let the mind, body, and spirit be cleansed. Set down what is not a line anymore. There's no judgment in this space, only readiness being carved into you. You have always been set apart for something beyond the common. These days are yours to keep your atmosphere sacred. Surround yourself with what uplifts. Speak aloud words that remind you of who you are. Light a flame if it centers you. Let silence wrap around you like a cloak. Stay present to what is stirring. Let honesty be your language. There's no need for rehearsed prayers. Speak plainly of your fears, your longings, your weariness. In that openness, a current of direction and calm will meet you. There is a conversation waiting between you and the unseen, but it requires only that you show up. You are a vessel carrying something holy. Guard what enters your mind, your ears, your sight. Abstain not only from excess, but from doubt, from jealousy, from the noise of others' opinions. This is sacred ground. Shield it as you would something priceless. The tone you keep now will echo into what comes next. Let it remain clean, fierce, and aligned with what is beyond you. What waits beyond this sacred interval is nothing short of a rebirth. A self you've never met before begins to rise quietly from the silence. The one who steps forward after these days will not resemble the one who entered them. What is emerging carries a clarity that can't be taught, a strength shaped only by fire, and a calm born of the deepest trust. This is your awakening from within. Don't expect fanfare. Instead, notice how your thoughts realign, how calm takes root where there was turmoil, how your heart softens yet stands firmer than ever. These are the hallmarks of your transformation. What was once hemmed in by doubt is giving way to a life brimming with meaning. What sought to bury you only unknowingly created the conditions for you to take root. These days are not simply hours on a calendar. They are the fertile ground where the new is quietly sown. Let the process complete. This rising does not exist for you alone. It becomes a beacon for others still wandering in shadow. Everything you endured was not wasted. The reason behind it begins to unfold now. This is not merely an invitation, it is a directive. These moments were etched into time to carry you across a threshold. The willingness to yield here is the bridge to what comes next. Those who dismissed the call missed the chance. Those who stayed received what was prepared. Throughout history, those entrusted with more were first set apart to obey. This time is no different. Don't trivialize the significance of now. It is sacred ground. Lay aside every pretense, distraction, and burden you've carried. You don't have to make sense of it all. Trust that this command carries weight beyond what you can see. And as the days unfold, choose stillness not just inwardly but outwardly. These hours are not abstract. They require your presence where you are. Make your space a sanctuary. Let it shelter you like a cocoon. Do not wander without guidance. Remaining in place is your safety, your shield. Within your walls, unseen hands are weaving protection around you. Open your home to the sacred. Bless every corner. Speak life into every room. These hours are not about retreat in fear, but about preservation in power. You are not hidden to be forgotten. You are hidden because what is delicate must first grow in quiet. Soon, what has been prepared in the unseen will appear in its full brilliance. But for now, remain folded in grace. Your obedience here shapes what will be revealed. These hours are not ordinary. You are not ordinary. What begins in the stillness is already in motion, and the silence itself is carrying the voice that calls you forward. What is being planted within you now are not fleeting thoughts or passing inspiration. They are intricate designs being etched into your spirit for the road ahead. These insights carry weight and direction, not born of logic, but of something far deeper, arriving to clear the fog and cut through hesitation like a blade through still water. But to catch them, you must quiet the noise and let yourself become receptive. It isn't guesswork. It is an invention. The patterns rising in you are exact, intentional, and already alive inside, waiting to be uncovered. The visions taking shape in this season, whether they come as images, impressions, or soft urges, are more than coincidences. They are entrusted assignments placed directly into your hands. Treat them as sacred. Note them down, sketch them out, give them language before they fade. What appears in the spaces between thoughts, in the hush between breaths, is not your imagination running wild. It's something being handed to you from beyond. Once these instructions settle into you, you'll find yourself knowing things no one could have taught, carrying blueprints no one else could see. When others ask where it came from, you'll simply know it was placed within you. This quiet unlocking does more than offer tools. It reclaims authority. As the outside clamor falls away, your awareness sharpens, and long-buried gifts start to awaken. Some will find their words suddenly hold power to comfort and guide. Others will begin to dream in ways that uncover truth, sense what lingers unseen, or bring healing without understanding how. These abilities are not new. They've been waiting, hidden, now called forward to the surface. You may begin to pick up subtle shifts around you. The atmosphere feels charged. Truths hum unspoken. Whispers reach you even as you sleep. Perhaps a warmth in your palms when you offer kindness, or a quiet pull in your chest when you encounter something real. All signs that what was dormant has begun to move. This blossoming isn't here to burden but to equip, letting you do more with less strain. carried by grace instead of effort. Where once clarity felt distant, now the voice guiding you will feel undeniable. Where doubt once clouded your gifts, now their fruit will affirm their presence. But know this, what grows needs tending. Approach it with humility, keep it alive through practice, and refuse to measure it against what others carry. What blooms in you belongs to you alone, designed perfectly for the journey ahead. Though solitude may feel more pronounced during these days, in truth you are more surrounded than ever. A company you cannot see stands watch, protecting, nudging, and ministering even in your sleep. What flows into you now is not random. It is your inheritance awakening, a river breaking open within you, waiting only for your willingness to let it run its course. These quiet hours are anything but empty. The air hums with unseen motion, alive with presence and purpose. Beyond where your eyes register, messengers of light move on your behalf, shielding, guiding, and clearing paths you didn't even know were blocked. That subtle shiver when you thought you were alone, that inexplicable calm when chaos rose. Those were not your mind playing tricks. They were reminders you are watched over. Assigned guardians surround you now, not vaguely but precisely, for this threshold, for this crossing, for this becoming. What seemed like chance, the narrow escape, the sudden ending, the dream that unsettled you, was choreography, not coincidence. Step into these days with steady confidence. Nothing about your journey is unguarded. Layers of protection have been laid like an invisible net to keep you from harm, both from what you could see and what you could not. What felt like delay was really a deliberate detour, sparing you from what would have dimmed you too soon. Every slammed door, every broken tie, every unanswered question has been building a foundation under your feet. What was meant to crush you is now being used as the very stones to elevate you higher. There will come a time, and it draws closer now, when you'll turn back and feel gratitude for the doors that would not open. What felt like rejection was really the hand of Providence, reshaping your steps toward something greater. You were never denied, only rerouted toward what aligns with who you truly are. Everything you endured has been preparing you for a stage beyond what you imagine. Your ascent is already underway, but an old framework can't carry you into a new dimension. That's why you're being rewired now. These days are not idle. They are a divine reset, clearing the clutter and instilling sharper wisdom, deeper courage, and fuller authority. Like a system that needs to power down to install its upgrade, so must your spirit still itself. Silence is not stagnation. It is the forge where your senses are honed. At first, you may feel resistance, the letting go of old attachments, patterns, or versions of yourself that can't follow you into what's next. Trust the unfastening. The weight you release now would only hold you back where you're headed. When the refining is complete, you will carry yourself differently, speak with certainty, move with intention. The you that emerges after this will not resemble who you were before, because the transformation touches everything. This shift isn't about drawing attention, but creating impact. You are being brought into view, not for vanity's sake, but to fulfill your assignment. What is unfolding privately is crafting you to influence lives you haven't even met yet. Invitations will appear that you didn't chase. Opportunities will find you before you ask. This is no accident, it's a strategy unfolding. But with greater visibility comes greater responsibility. Carry it with quiet strength, not for applause, but for meaning. Not every victory belongs on display. Influence that endures comes not from spectacle but from substance. Be ready to step up when called, to lead when needed, to serve when unseen. This rising is not about being noticed. It's about living out the purpose you were always meant to carry. The loops that held you captive are unraveling. Those invisible patterns, hesitation, fear, self-sabotage, compromise, are losing their hold as you step into a different rhythm. This isn't just about breaking habits. It's about awakening from a long slumber. What's happening here is your release, a personal crossing from confinement to clarity. Some of these patterns were passed to you like an unwanted inheritance. Others you picked up along the way. But all of them have done the same thing, kept you small. That chapter is closing. These days apart are not merely quiet. They are both a tearing and a birthing. What once choked you is being cut away. Let the old version of you dissolve without argument. Stop trying to resuscitate what is meant to stay buried. You cannot run forward dragging yesterday's weight. Let go of the guilt, the explanations, the regret. You've circled this same ground long enough. The chains have broken, and now you will feel what freedom tastes like. You might feel heat rising inside you, an intensity in thought, an ache in your chest, a weight that seems almost too much. But don't mistake it for defeat. You're not being dismantled. You're being purified. This pressure is not a penalty, but a process. Like rare metal tested under flame, you're being stripped of what was false to reveal what was always real. This season isn't cruel. It's holy. It's carving you into something resilient. Let the process do what it came to do. Sing through it if you can. Weep if you need. The hotter it burns, the more valuable what emerges. What's forming in you now will carry strength nothing can topple. And through this hidden obedience, you're unlocking a kind of favor you cannot earn, only receive. The quiet sacrifices no one sees. The quiet prayers no one applauds. Those are being noted. This favor shows itself not always in riches, but in improbable peace, unexpected openings, perfect timing. You won't have to plead or push. Doors once sealed will open of their own accord. Your name will be spoken in places you've never been, not because of effort, but because of faithfulness.